All right, guys, welcome back to the Lion's Den. Sky Marshal here, bringing you Operation Dark Horizon, the review for 1939, the end of 1939, rather, moving on into 1940. So, where are we? What's going on? Well, that's what this episode's about. So let's just dive right in here. Let's start down here in the South Atlantic here, and just go over some commerce rating that has happened over the past few turns. Right now we have 3 million tons of British shipping being sunk just off the coast of Africa. We also up here north have 6 million tons of British shipping being sunk here in A28. Definitely taking a dent into the British income, slowly but surely. The British, however, have reinforced and repositioned a lot of their fleet throughout their empire, fortifying key zones such as the Straits of Gibraltar right here, with the Eagle and Suffolk on patrol. But here in port in Gibraltar, we have two fleets. We have the French First Fleet and Force H. And down here, the formerly Vichy, Richelieu, and Gascon are in port, and they've joined the Allied side, along with King George V there. So quite a powerful battle fleet to hopefully impress the Italians not to go to war. But if we go further north here, we'll see the culprit of this is the British Airborne that landed in Paris, which came from the Soviet Union via Lend-Lease to Britain because the Allies requested it, not knowing what they were going to do with it. And sure enough, they liberated Paris, got some militia, and started pushing out the coast. And every former Vichy territory throughout the French Empire then all became French. And France is now once again a major power, a force to be reckoned with. The Abyssinian War is still raging. It's a giant stalemate down here. Nobody has attacked either, basically probably because of Russian Lend-Lease down here, which is, I think, has helped stay the Italian attack right now. And I don't think the Italian player, Panzer J, is willing to risk his powerful Regia Aeronautica in the destruction of Abyssinia. However, he is bulking his forces up here in the desert, and we'll see what happens if he has aspirations going into Egypt. Right now, the British have resupported it with some colonial troops, and 3 South African divisions have slowly been built up and railed down here from South Africa. In the Red Sea, protecting Alexandria and the Eastern Empire, we have Force G and Force Z. Force G is in port, and that comprises of the Nelson and 2 supporting cruisers, the Dorchester and the Norfolk, and also Force Z, which is at sea patrolling the Red Sea right now, which is a combined coalition of nations ranging from the French Marseille light cruiser and Le Fantastique destroyer to Far East Command, Ajax, Neptune, and the Tuscan, as well as Anzac, Far East, British, and Australian troops rounding up their support vessels. Here you can see the Japanese took 2 million tons of shipping off just off the Gulf of Aden there, and sunk more British valuables, and their submarines are raiding the Indian Ocean line right now as we speak. So they have done quite well, hampering British morale. Further north here, the Japanese have invaded Burma and taken over that area as well. And they've also taken Hong Kong. On top of that, well, they've also taken over Sydney. And right now, Australia is in threat of being conquered, or the rest of Australia. But the whole of ANZAC is if New Zealand, the South Island, and North Island fall. So that's where they're fortifying their position down here with Lend-Lease from the Americans. So the Japanese definitely are down here at the other end of the world, trying to secure a southern front before they move on. So we'll see what happens there. However, like developments, the Americans have left the Philippines and are moving their ships back. The McDonough destroyer is heading bound for Hawaii, and some of their ships have now fortified a line protecting the Hawaiian Islands against possible Japanese aggression, which they see so predominantly in the South Pacific. Up here north, the British coastal submarine, the Odin, have been doing some raiding unsuccessfully, and their French counterpart, the Acheron, has arrived as well to do some of that. And the CCP are still rather weak in comparison, about 2 to 1. I think the KMT outnumber the CCP, which is not very good at all. However, we may have a bargaining chip. The Allies have graciously sent us a transport here to possibly load up some troops to go on a joyride to take some territory from the Japanese, perhaps South Sakhalin or the Kuril Islands, or possibly an undefended Tokyo. Dun dun dun. However, right now it serves the Russians no good at all to take Tokyo. Then that would really change the balance of power hugely in the favor of the Allies. So consequently, we are hoping that the Axis see the light and succumb to what we have called the Treaty of Vladivostok, which is a request to annex southern Sakhalin, the Kuril Islands, a demilitarized zone across the Manchukuo border there as well, even though we are now officially at war, as well as German Lend-Lease, a fighter to Russia, to protect it in an eastern defense capacity. So we'll see what happens with the Treaty of Vladivostok. There are grumbles that the Japanese are very proud and will not sign, but we'll see. If they do, great. If not, then the Soviet Union has a tough decision, throwing the balance of power to the Allies' side. But we can definitely do that and hope for the best. But I think right now it's best to keep this three-way Mexican standoff going as strong as possible. So that decision now will rest in the Axis powers. So consequently, further north here, we have seen deployment of the United States with the destroyers Hull and light cruiser, the new light cruiser Atlanta, the Alwyn, the Boston, and the Warden down here, all on escort duty to protect their convoy shipping against German U-boats in the area. The Hornet is in port, along with several transports, but the bulk of their Navy is deploying to the Panama Canal, possibly to head out to the Pacific to help out their Pacific brethren. Further north here, a sad day for the HMS Repulse. She was sunk in the beginning of this round by German U-boat U-5, as well as the Luftwaffe, and she sunk, I believe, with only 33 survivors on board. But nonetheless, she will be remembered as a convoy raider in the north. Kind of a reverse Bismarck situation, to tell you for sure. In the north here, the Russians are massing on the Finnish border, possibly for an invasion of this certain territory here, and we'll see what happens. Fun fact, if you guys haven't noticed already, we have some of these 3D sculpts here. We have the Pripyat Marshes here in Russia. We have the Sahara in North Africa, and it looks really, really good, I must admit. And then we got some Amazon jungle down here with some pyramids. We have the Great Himalayas, which I love. I don't think I can ever go back to this game now without this, as well as Ayers Rock and the center down there in Australia. So guys, this is just a brief review, just going over some of the fun facts about the game right now, and it's getting exciting. Germany has to secure France. Italy has to be careful moving forward here. Japan is obviously in a bit of trouble with threats with the northern capital, but if they sign the treaty with the Russians, all can be well with the world once again. The CCP is concerned about the growth of the KMT, so that's a problem that we have. Right now, the Americans are concerned about Japanese aggression. The British have problems all over the planet right now, and really it's anybody's game. I truly believe that. And it's Russia's duty to make sure it's an equal and fair fight right to the end. Anyways, guys, Sky Marshal here in the Lion's Den, signing off. We will see you in 1940. Take care and stay classy.